What's going on, guys? My name is Basilio and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 and a brand new episode of my Billericay Rising series. And before we jump into the meat of today's episode, I want to apologise that it's been so long since the last Billericay Rising series episode, basically. With it being the new year and Christmas and so on, the holiday period, it's been really hectic, and just honestly, on the days where I was planning to record and get it all done, something always cropped up that I had to attend to beforehand. So yeah, apologies for that, but we're going to get back to a more regular recording schedule with regards to this series, and hopefully there won't be any more big gaps. We should be getting 2, maybe 3 episodes a week of this, perhaps, depending on how things go. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we are going to take a look at some highlights first of all, then we've got a little bit of team news to go through before we take a look at today's opponents for our livecom game against Tonbridge Angels. So let's jump into it. And the first round of highlights we have for you is from our Athenian League Cup second round tie away to Hythe. And I use this as an opportunity to bring some of the fringe guys in, or guys that I really haven't played too much with regard, in relation to injuries and so on. And it was one of those guys who got the opener, basically. Sanchez Watt bagging his first goal of the season with 3 minutes gone. And then the second goal came on the brink of half time, with Jake Robinson bagging another goal for himself to make it 2-0. And then in the second half, Billy Bricknell getting a rare start, bagged his first goal of the season just after the restart to make it 3-0, and that was the way the score stayed. Like I've said, I'm not really too interested in this cup. I will probably use it more to bring in some of the younger lads. But either way, it's a nice victory, it's a good win, and also it's nice to see Billy Bricknell getting off the mark, and some of the other guys as well. Billy Bricknell was actually the man of the match for this game, as he got an assist. But yeah, nice victory. But if we go out of this competition, like I said, the board don't really put too much emphasis on it, so I'm not going to either. Following on from that, we travel to Salters Lane to face Faversham in the FA Cup third qualifying round, and this game was a lot tighter than the scoreline would have you believe. The opening exchanges were very back and forth, and you could perhaps say maybe they had the better of it, but when the deadlock was broken, it was ourselves who got the opener. Billy Bricknell continuing on from where he left off in midweek to open the scoring with just under 10 minutes of the half left. And then on the brink of half time, he bagged his second goal of the game. Pretty good finish, and yeah, like I said, it was Jake Robinson who got the assist there, so a very good finish to make it 2-0. And then Bricknell had the ball in the back of the net once again. Unfortunately, this time it was ruled out for offside, but as play progressed and we kept pushing forward, he wasn't to be denied, as with 10 minutes of the half left, he bagged his hat-trick and wrapped up a very nice 3-0 win. And like I said, the scoreline tells one story, but if you look at the stats, they tell a different one. As you can see, the 7 shots, 2 on target. Like, we had the better of it there, but they did have the better of the possession, and they did cause a few problems for us. So on another day, I think this may have been a bit tighter. But like I said, I'm happy to get the win, and it means we get to progress to the final qualifying round. And we're just one game away now, one win away from the FA Cup proper. So we've got to keep our focus and carry on. There was a little bit of a sting in the tail with this one, though. As you can see, Kevin Foley's picked up an injury. We're going to touch on that a little bit more when we go through the team news. But yeah, like I said, it was just a little bit of a sting in the tail, a little bit disappointing for him, because I wanted to use this game to give him... He played well against Hythe, and to pick up an injury as well does leave us maybe a little bit bare bones in that area as well. But like I said, we'll touch on that in a moment. And the final set of highlights we have for you is from our return to league action as we hosted Brightlingsea at New Lodge. And the first half was a little bit disappointing. Considering we were playing bottom of the league, I wanted to really make a statement here, and we just weren't that good in the first half. We did come close to opening the scoring. Sanchez Watt, as you just saw, hitting the crossbar with a speculative effort, I suppose you can call it. But yeah, like I said, we weren't particularly good in the first half. In the second half, we again came out and they were again kind of stubborn with us. We were having chances, but when we did get through, the keeper was making some decent saves, or we weren't hitting target basically. We did eventually open the scoring with just over 25 minutes left to go, and it was Jermaine Pennant who got only his second goal of the season. There was a corner come in. I don't know what the goalkeeper was doing here, but yeah, he made a complete meal of it, and that made it 1-0. And then pretty much with one of the final kicks of the game, a beautiful ball over the top from Alex Smith found the run of Louis Theophanos, and he sprinted through, kept his composure, and basically just bagged it bottom corner to make it 2-0 and put the game to bed. But looking at the stats here, as you can see, we were the dominant side throughout, and like I said, they are bottom of the league, so I was hoping that we'd make a bit more of a statement and, you know, really carry on. I was a little bit disappointed with the front two. I brought Moller in, and also Bricknell. Like I said, he didn't continue with his goal scoring form as I would have liked, but, you know, at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points, but would have liked to have won by more, especially given that we were the dominant side throughout the entire game pretty much. So, taking a look at the league table following what was just one league game, which was against Brightlingsea, the last set of highlights you saw there. And we're currently still top of the table. However, because that Brightlingsea game was our game in hand, we've now extended our lead, as you can see, to 4 points at the top of the table over Dulwich Hamlet, with Tonbridge Angels a further point back, and then you've got Stainstown and Kingstonian. But yeah, pretty happy. Still a little bit annoyed about those draws against Harlow and Lowestoft Town, but you know, what's done is done. We're still we're still undefeated, of course. I would like to hopefully keep that going until the end of the season, if we can have like an invincible season, because I think it's a given that we're going to go up, and I think anything less than promotion as champions would be disappointing. But if we can maybe just put that little bit of extra shine on it and go up undefeated, I think that's a nice little goal to shoot for. But it's a long season, we'll see what happens. We could get turned over today against Tonbridge Angels, but that's the goal. If we get to the halfway point of the season and we're still undefeated, then I think that's a goal we can start realistically looking at, but we'll see how it goes. What we're going to do now, though, is we are going to take a look at a little bit of team news. And the first bit of team news we're going to look at is on the injury front, because as we mentioned previously, Kevin Foley picked up an injury against Faversham in the FA Cup, and it was a twisted ankle, so it's going to keep him out for anywhere between 12 days and 4 weeks. A little bit disappointed because I'm trying my best to try and get him game time, but he's not exactly helping his cause when he's coming up with what 6.46 average rating. So yeah. And like I said, with games in the Athenian League Cup coming up as well, that'll probably be the kind of games that I'll be playing in at this point, because that's been overshadowed a little bit by Elliot Kebe, I think. But yeah, disappointing that he's going to be out, but you know, that's football, and hopefully he'll come back and crack on. The other bit of team news comes on the transfer front, because we have actually signed a brand new player, and it's this guy, Hussein Mohammed, formerly of Crystal Palace youth teams. Didn't make a first team appearance, but he's come in and signed for us, and he looks pretty decent. You know, for this level, he's got a good amount of pace. His acceleration, his agility is good finishing, good first touch, technique's also good, flair, leadership, off the ball movement. So I think he could be a very good player. Determination lets him down. Obviously, it's a big letdown at 2. Composure, concentration, and a bit disappointing. Anticipation is okay, but he's 21. He's got time to improve, so hopefully he can crack on, and he can also play in that poacher role, which is still a little bit different, because I think all we've got is advanced forwards and target men. I don't think we have anything else in between, so having somebody who can play poacher proficiently, and also maybe can learn other areas as well, because he's not too bad as an advanced forward or a deep lying forward. We can probably train him up there. So yeah, he's come in, and we'll see how he does. Really, I'm looking to give him some game time, hopefully in the Athenian League Cup and the FA Trophy. We've got those games coming up soon as well. But yeah, we'll see how he does. And at the moment, he's sitting in the under 23s, but I think he could be a very good player for us. So here we are then, guys. Here's Tonbridge Angels, and we're going to start off by taking a look at the key employees first of all. So the manager is Steve McKim, 42 years of age, English, and stats-wise, not really much to write home about. 4 for man management, 5 for motivating. in terms of the knowledge, tactical knowledge too, so he's not really going to be springing any tactical surprises on us, I don't think. His adaptability is pretty good, as is determination, but yeah, not really much to write home about on that front. The captain and also key player is Craig Stone. He's a 28-year-old right back, but he can play a multitude of different positions, as you can see here. So he's a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none. And stats-wise, we can glean a lot. We can take a lot away from this, but his tackling's good, his passing's good, positioning's pretty good as well. Good leadership and determination, good natural fitness, and so on. So yeah, pace lets him down a little bit. So that's something we may look to expose. We've got some pacey guys on the bench who can come in, but yeah, he's their captain. I think we could do it. Depends where he plays, really. If he plays in right back, I think we can, we can do a job on him. But if he plays in the centre midfield, we'd let him have time to stop spraying balls around. Then that's where we may find ourselves coming undone a little bit. The vice captain is Chris Kinnear, a 29-year-old centre back, and again, we can't really take much away from this. I mean, doesn't look all that good, if we're being honest with you, just from what we can see here. But again, we can't really say yeah or nay because we haven't got him fully scouted. As we said, the key player is Craig Stone. The hot prospect is Courtney Wilding, and he's actually got caps for is it Antigua and Bermuda, I think it is, or is it Barbados? I don't know what it is, either way. So he's got 2 caps, either way. He's a 21-year-old left back, and we can't really, like I said, take much from it because we haven't got his stats or himself properly scouted yet. Apparently it would be a useful signing, but I can't remember his scouting of it all. We've got him 27% scouted, but I don't know. If he has a good game, I might have a look at him, but at the moment, like I said, we can't really take much from that. Looking at the recent form, they were doing very well. They started the season pretty much on par with ourselves, I think it was. And then they lost to Dulwich Hamlet at home, which was, for them, I'd say, disappointing. And then they followed that up with an even more disappointing defeat against home. Both these defeats, as you can see, they came at home. So, like I said, it kind of broke that decent run they were having at the start of the season. They picked themselves up a little bit in the following game against Potter's Bar in what I think would have been the Athenian League Cup, I think it would have been. But yeah, with a 5-2 win, they're hoping that they can get back on track. Looking at the top goal scorer, Alex Akrofi, not really much write home about, but that's the thing that worries me. That 15 pace and 14 acceleration. That's the one thing we properly lack in those defensive areas. So yeah, like I said, with Craig Stone, their key player, if he's sitting centre midfield, we don't get around him and he can spray balls over the top, this guy's going to have a field day. So that's something we've got to be careful of and take and make sure we're prepared for. Damien Scannell has the most assists for the team. He can play on right, he can play the right wing or the left wing. Decent pace. Don't know. Could he be related to Sean Scannell, who plays for Burton? Is it Burton? I think it might be. If it's not, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so he's got 6 assists so far this season, and the most player of the match awards, man of the match awards, whatever you want to say. Again, Alex Akrofi there. But yeah, I think we could do well here. They are third, but we're playing them at home, so that's good. And I think at the very least we need to stay undefeated. If we lose, then it could get their tails up a little bit and just set them off on, in chase of us properly. But if we win, then like I said, it's always nice to put a bit of space between you. It's like a 6-pointer almost, because we're already 5 points clear. But if we win, we go 8 points clear. And like I said, Dulwich Hamlet, again, is another game, a big game that's coming up. So the more space we can put between ourselves and them, the less pressure I think it's going to put on us when those games come around. But yeah, so what we're going to do now is we are going to jump down to the we're going to jump into the game proper. We're going to take a look at the teams and we are going to get this game underway. So see you over there. Okay then guys, so here we are just ahead of kickoff and here are the teams. And we'll start with ourselves first of all. So Alan Julian starts in goal and also has the captain's armband, as you can see there. We've got Elliot Kebe at right back with Alex Smith at left back. Inman and Payne start in the centre of defence for us once again. Then we've got Danny Waldron partnered by Jamie O'Hara in the centre of midfield with Jermaine Pennant on the right and Sanchez Watt continuing on with his hoping to continue on with his good form since his return from injury, starting on the left. Then we've got Moller partnered by by Jake Robinson up top. Robinson's not really been weighing in with goals, but he's been weighing in with assists, so hopefully he can continue on with that and have a good game for us today. The bench is fairly straightforward. The only you know, new face, I suppose you could say, on the bench is this guy, Josh Urquhart, who formerly in the under-23s, but I brought him in to cover the loss of Foley, who, as we mentioned, is out with injury. So you never know, maybe he comes in and maybe he impresses and starts getting himself back into the first team fold. We don't know, but for the time being, he's on the bench and playing that covering role, I suppose you could say. In terms of the away side, we've got Henley in goal with the key player / captain Craig Stone started at right back. Their key player, their hot prospect Courtney Weldon started at left back with Miles and Wells in the centre of defence. Then we've got Kinnear playing in that defensive midfield role behind O'Connor and Carney. And then we've got Turner on the left and Scannell on the right, with Akrofi playing as the lone forward up top. In terms of the team talk, I'm going to be assertive and I'm going to tell them that I want us to keep our run going. I don't want to be too overconfident with this and say I fully expect us to win, because this is going to be a tough game. This is probably one of the tougher games we've had this season, maybe the toughest so far. So I want to be assertive, but I don't want to be overconfident. So I'm just going to tell them, come on lads, show me what you can do, keep our run going. Not exactly what I wanted to see, but we're going to give them each department a bit of cheeky faith, just to hopefully get a bit more greenery there. Seems to be having the desired effect so far, and yeah, so pretty good overall, I think. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Let's get things started and see what we can do, because like I said, these lot haven't really been they're in a bit of bad form terms of the league, so hopefully we can heap a bit more war on them, make it 3 defeats in a row. As O'Hara looks forward for Robinson, and that's cut out, and Henley lofts it upfield. Quite a long opening highlight, not unheard of. We've had a couple of occasions, I think we've had a couple of occasions where the opening highlight has yielded a goal. Hopefully this will be one of them, as O'Hara looks for Muller, who flicks it on. And Weldon picks up the loose ball and goes out wide to Turner. Here's Carney in the centre now, looking forward with a long ball over the top, and the defences just completely went to sleep on it, and we got away with that there. That could have ended in tears. So first proper highlight with just over 10 minutes gone. It's a corner, it goes in and it's cleared, but only as far as Robinson. Here's Muller, and it's 1-0. Brilliant finish. And he continues on his good form. And it all started from the corner. It was O'Hara who took it, went towards the back post looking at what it was cleared, but Robinson got it, it hooked it back in, and Waldron just nodded it down for Muller, who doesn't miss from there. Billericay 1, Tonbridge 0. And we've got another highlight straight away, and his Kebe goes to Muller, the opener, the scorer of the opener, should I say. And O'Hara goes inside to Waldron. Got Robinson just ahead of him. Here's Muller now. Can he make it 2-0? He can. He's an absolute fire at the minute. He can't be stopped. Keeper probably could have done a little bit better there. It looked like it was kind of straight at him a little bit. I suppose we'll see in the replay. So yeah, it was O'Hara. Goes to Waldron. These two have been very, very good so far this season. I've been very impressed with Waldron especially. But yeah, he goes to Robinson. And like I said in the build-up, hoping he can get more assists right through the keeper's legs. Keeper should be doing better there, but it doesn't matter. I'm not fussed. Billericay 2, Tonbridge Angels 0. And there's half time. And overall, looking at the match stats, it's been fairly even, but it's not really been reflected in terms of the actual highlights that we've seen, because honestly, it's just been I think it was like 1 for them, which is the opening highlight, and then 3 for ourselves. But yeah. Like I said, it's very, very even at the moment, so we've still got to be on our toes, because while it's 2-0, I would like a third goal. If we get a third goal in, you know, first 5-10 minutes, then I think this game will be very firmly put to bed, and we can start thinking about maybe bringing some guys on to, you know, rest some legs, because like I said, the schedule's still very, very hectic. We're still very much in the early part of the season, so I'm going to be assertive and tell them I'm pleased with the performance. Keep it going. I don't think I want to overcomplicate things any further. I might just give Sanchez a little bit of a pep talk. Just say a lot more to come from you. But yeah, like I said, I'm happy with what we've seen so far. We haven't seen much, but what we have seen, I'm quite happy with it. So let's get the second half underway. It's going to be Tonbridge to kick off, and hopefully it'll be a nothing opening highlight. And there it is. So I'm just going to give him a bit of encouragement as the ball goes in, and it's off the line, and it's Payne. I don't know why I put so much of it. It's Payne who's got the goal. And yeah, exactly what I said. First 5-10 minutes, get a goal, put it to bed. So O'Hara with the corner in. Waldron attacks it from deep, and then Sanchez comes off the post, I think, and then it just drops so invitingly to Payne. He's stood on the line. There's not really much else he can do other than score. So Billericay 3, Tonbridge 0. So another highlight with just over an hour gone, and it's 4-0. Danny Waldron with an absolute corker of a header. I wasn't expecting that. I've put the emphasis on this guy so much because he's been so good so far this season. I think he's been our best centre midfielder, but this keeper probably should be doing a bit better there, though. Don't know what happened with the net. It went all spasticated, but yeah, Billericay 4, Tonbridge 0. Okay then, so we've got about 15 minutes left in the game, and I'm going to make our first change because Jamie O'Hara is looking a little bit tired. So I'm going to bring Rob Evans on, and I'm going to play Evans in the box-to-box midfielder role because he's pretty good at it. I don't know what else to do. I think I might leave it at that for the time being, but I've also got an eye on Sanchez, potentially, and maybe even Elliot Kebe, because it might be nice to get Josh Urquhart on for a bit of game time. Stats-wise, doesn't look brilliant, but you know, like I said, we'll see what happens. You never know, he could surprise us, but just going to make the one change for the time being. Jamie O'Hara making way for Rob Evans. Okay, so just under 10 minutes left of the game. Here's Waldron with a long cross from deep, sorry, but it's cleared. And here's Turner now, pushing forward. A long ball over the top towards Thompson, who's just come on as a substitute. Here's Turner again. Goes inside to O'Connor. Here's Carney to Thompson. A little bit overcrowded down there. And those who are tripping over themselves, I think I'm not quite sure what that was all about. Here's Stone. And yeah, they're just sweeping the ball around. I don't want to concede. I would like a clean sheet. That would be nice. It's one of the things that annoys me about this team. Sometimes we just go to sleep and we just get caught out. But here's Thompson now with a shot from distance, and it's just wide of the mark. Okay, so I'm going to make another couple of changes now. Rob Evans, who's just come on as a sub, has just picked up a little bit of a knock there, but I'm not going to bring him off because I don't have another centre midfielder. So I'm going to bring Kebe off for Urquhart. See how he does, and I'm also going to bring Jennings on for Sanchez. I think I don't know. So many of them that I could choose from, really. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to bring Konchesky on for Smith in a straight swap there. So yeah, final two changes: Urquhart on for Kebe and Smith off for Konchesky. So another highlight with a couple of minutes left. Here's Waldron with a free kick, looking forward to whoever. I don't know who he was looking at there. That was terrible. But it's cleared only as far as Inman, and Waldron again gets the ball. Here's Evans, who, like I said, picked up a knock. Here's Sanchez goes towards the middle, and it's just over the bar from Marlow. He gets up with a good header, but can't add to his tally. So coming to the end of the game now, just under a minute left, and here's Sanchez and he's tackled by Kinnear. Here's Scannell, but he gets back in very well there. Sanchez and wins the ball. Here's Waldron. Yeah, I'd like him maybe just to start moving it towards the corner, just see the game out, not do anything silly and get caught out and maybe lose this clean sheet we've got. Unless a chance does present itself, an absolutely golden opportunity. Who are you looking at there? What was that all about, Evans? Don't blame your bloody knee for that. That was just a terrible pass. Inman with a good header. Is now? Pretty much the last kick of the game, and that was it. Yep, and we've got the win. On paper, looking at the stats, if I just showed you these stats, you would not think we've just won this game by 4 goals to nil, I don't think. So, I think we've done very, very well here. Brilliant result, brilliant win. Can't really say fairer. Very pleased with the result and the performance. They didn't really, like I said, they didn't really have anything that was worthy of highlights, even though the stats show it as being a fairly even game. In terms of the highlights, there wasn't really much for them. and there was pretty much everything was for us. So very, very good win. In terms of the league table, which we're going to see in a moment, we are still top of the league and still 4 points clear because Dulwich Hamlet won their game against the Burgess Hill by 2-0. So yeah, we keep the unbeaten run going, and you know, Tonbridge Angels have dropped to 4th now. So yeah, that's 3 defeats back to back for them now. So they're going to be disappointed. But for ourselves, we go marching on still. And in the next episode, we are going to come back. I think it's going to be this one here, Dulwich Hamlet. It's a bit of a jump because we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 games. We've got 4 highlights packages for you, along with the live comic against Dulwich Hamlet. But I think this is the game we want to come back for, because this potentially could be first versus second and another big game for us. So yeah, that's what we're going to come back for. But yeah, that's the end of today's episode, guys. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy, would like to see more Football Manager 2018 and Billericay Rising content from myself, then make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Also, as this is one of my last videos of the year, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for all the support, for getting me to 1,000 subscribers recently as well. Thank you for that. I hope you've all had an awesome Christmas and will have an awesome New Year celebration. If you are going out, stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which doesn't leave much, but don't do it anyway. But yeah, like I said, guys, I hope you have an awesome New Year's Eve party or whatever you're doing, and I'll see you in 2018. Peace!